Dan Sieburg, welcome to the Steven Skinner podcast. Good morning to you.
Morning. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, so you are the CEO of the Rescue Mission, and I think there's probably not a person in Syracuse, maybe Onondaga County, that has not heard in some fashion before seeing the words Rescue Mission. But I think for our listeners today on the podcast, what I want to dig in is that I think, perhaps just myself, but maybe many others would think of it as a clothing thrift store. I think we've heard about it in feeding people. But can you share a little bit of all the services? What does the Rescue Mission do for Syracuse?
Sure. Well, I am proudly the CEO of a really old local organization. We are 137 years old. We were started in 1887, and we are just local right here in Central New York. We've got some programs down in Binghamton, so that gives us a little bit of the southern tier. We've got programs in Auburn. And then we've got our thrift stores as far north as Watertown, down to Enwell, over to Seneca Falls, and then New Hartford and Rome. So we are a Central New York not-for-profit. We were started by 6 local churches that didn't know how to really serve the homeless that were around the 1800s when they were digging this canal, and alcoholism was rampant, and poverty was rampant, and so they kind of rallied together to form this organization, and we've been together ever since. So we're a local not-for-profit. We're not affiliated with anybody nationally. When you give to the Rescue Mission, your dollars stay local. I always say if you want to help the hungry and homeless right here in town, I got your best ROI on your investment. So
that's amazing. Now, and how many stores now? Is there over a dozen, right?
Yeah, we've got 19 stores, which, sometimes I think about, I don't know if I've seen like 19 Burger Kings in Central New York, or, we've got more thrifty shoppers than there are Central New York Wegmans, know? So we're big. We've got a lot of stores, and it's all generated by our local community's generosity that gives us their well-used, worn, and loved belongings. And then we just keep it out of landfills. We recycle it, we resell it, and then all the dollars we generate provides the programs and services that we offer.
That's awesome. Now, your downtown, your main hub here, even going on your website, I'm looking at, says how many meals served, and it looks like it's just constantly just going because you're giving away so many meals every day. What does downtown look like when it comes to, is it housing, is it food, is it programming? Give me a little idea of what goes on at the Rescue Mission downtown.
Right. So downtown, we've got the largest homeless shelter in all of upstate New York. We've got a 200-bed shelter that serves both single men and single women. And then we work with our community partners to house families that show up homeless, so we can find a bed for everybody in need in our community. We offer 3 meals a day, 365 days a year. We didn't miss a meal throughout the entire pandemic. We haven't, I've been at the mission 15 years. We haven't missed a meal in the last 15 years. And again, that is because of the generosity of our community that says, for sure, we want to make sure everybody can access a meal who's hungry in our community. So that's what we do. We provide the ultimate safety net for the city of Syracuse to make sure people can get clothes, food, shelter, and some form of housing.
It's absolutely amazing. Now, to shift gears a little bit here, I don't know if someone would say when they're younger, hey, I want to be part of an organization that, again, works either with the homeless or maybe thrift stores. I want to hear the backstory of Dan Sieburg. There must be something of why you got involved and you now are at the CEO. Give me a little bit of your backstory, of your history.
Well, you could say I lost a bet, and so, no, I'm just kidding. When I was in school, I had this realization that I wanted to do a job or work to help people. And that's why a lot of people work at the Rescue Mission and other service providers in our community. They're driven by this, hopefully compassion, but they're driven by a sense of, I want to help the world and help this community in some way. So I started out in youth advocacy. I worked several different jobs throughout the not-for-profit world, working with at-risk youth. And it kind of evolved and morphed. And, if you look at my resume from the time I finished my bachelor's degree in 99 to now, it all kind of lines up to, working at the rescue mission. It was giving me the right experiences, the right leadership opportunities. I even cut away from the main human service world of not-for-profits to work at a local church for a couple years, which gave me a totally different perspective on homelessness. And then from there, that's when I've been at the mission. So I've been there 15 years, and I'm driven by a belief that we have enough resources in our country and maybe enough resources in our community to provide a step up and support for people when they hit their toughest times.
It's you have been the CEO since how long? 5-6 years now?
Yeah,
or?
2017 I took over.
You took over in 2017, and just again hearing your story, how many people do you oversee? I know you must have team leads and all that, but again, how many people are employed at the Rescue Mission currently?
Yeah, so we have about 450 employees, and I think we just passed our budget, last month. So we've got on the books to have about 500 employees by the end of the year. And some of that is, it's a two-headed beast. We've got the human services side of what we do in the not-for-profit, and then we've got this social enterprise revenue generator in our thrift stores. So we're kind of unique in that we generate the majority of the money we need to fund the programs that we do. So we raise through our thrift stores about 65% of the dollars we needed every year to provide all the meals, all the shelter, all the housing. And we take a lot of pride in that. But, for me and my social worker mind, I kind of understood homelessness. The last 6 years has been trying to understand supply chain management and retail operations. But it's great. It's, it's really cool to generate revenue to then use it and do good work.
That's absolutely staggering, and again, it is an amazing thing that you can actually generate. So it's not just always asking. However, I do think there's a responsibility when people hear now your story, hear the mission of the mission, how we can be getting involved more. Now, so one, I would say, is there volunteer positions for people? Do you open that up for volunteers to get part of the rescue mission to either encourage people or feed people? Do you have volunteer positions like that?
Yes, so volunteers are a huge piece of our operations. Prior to the pandemic, when it kind of everything shut down and we told all volunteers to stay home, we had over 4,000 volunteers every year. Obviously, that number went down. It's starting to build back up again. But yes, if you went to rescuemissionalliance.org, there's a tab that you can click to volunteer, and you go in and put in your information, and you can even click days, times, availability, and we can line you up whether it's serving meals downtown or, if you live up in Watertown and you just, I can't get to Syracuse, but I want to help in some way, there's volunteer opportunities at our Thrifty Shopper in Watertown. What I try to explain to people is, when you work for the rescue mission, whether you're selling clothes at our Watertown Thrifty Shopper, or you're driving trucks delivering the goods to our different thrift stores, or you work in our overnight shelter, everybody's job is helping to alleviate somebody's hunger and homelessness. When you sell those clothes, those dollars generated help the people that are in our shelter. So everybody that works for the rescue mission, their job is helping people who are hungry and homeless in our community. They just do it in different ways.
Yeah, that's it's absolutely just amazing how that works here. So when it comes to giving, all right, right now we're in the season. We're all wearing 2 layers, 3 layers right now. Central New York, we're going to have snow hitting in soon. It's got to be some of the most trying time for people that are on the streets, and we all hear about the stories of people who lose their lives because they don't want to be in a shelter or something like that. My question would be, where can people give currently right now? There's got to be, you said about 2/3 of your money comes in through thrift stores, but what about this other third? How do people get involved financially? If someone's listening to this podcast and they hear and they're either motivated or moved by what you're sharing about the hurt of homelessness, but how we can all help together, where can people be giving right now to the rescue mission?
Sure. So, when you talk about your time, treasure, and talents, we'll take all of it. If you as an individual want to give all 3, we'll take it. Or maybe you can only give one of the 3. That's fine. So you can always donate to the rescue mission on our website. You can send in a check. You can come down to the rescue mission, and I'll give you a tour if you really want to see where your dollars are going to go. And we have a lot of people that, at the end of the year, they really support us in big ways. It's the end of the year. You might need your tax receipt. We'll help you out with that. So write us a nice big check now. You can also give by donating goods. So you bag up your clothes, you bag up the stuff in your house that you're not using anymore. You can drop it off at any one of our thrift stores and then give you a tax receipt for that. Or several Wegmans and Walmarts. We have our donation trailers where you can pull up as you're going Christmas shopping or grocery shopping, drop your stuff off there. We will take that and we'll process through it and we will sell it and make money. And then, and some people just, maybe you don't have the resources to give, but you've got some time. And so that's where you go on, you volunteer, and you providing your time and service, that helps reduce, our expenses. So like I said, we'll take time, treasure, talents. Right now, there are opportunities to give at local Wegmans stores. In the Together Against Hunger in our community, where you can scan at the register and some of those dollars will come to the rescue mission, as well as our Scan Away program that we're running at No James and Nichols and Green Hills. And so when you're grocery shopping, you can take the coupon and scan it, and it's for $3. Why? Because $3 is what it costs us to make a meal for somebody in the community. Scan away as many $3 coupons as you want this season.
There's so many different ways to give. Give me a little lowdown. Okay, you're in the CEO role there at the Rescue Mission. What does the future? Is there a vision planning? I know what people see right now, what you shared. What are some things? Are you allowed to share on some of the things? If I said, what's the next 2 to 3 years look like for the Rescue Mission, so people can just get their creative juices flowing about what you guys are doing?
Sure. So people know us as a large shelter provider. We provide meals. We get people off the streets with our street outreach team. My vision for the next 15 years is we're going to develop 150 units of housing for the clients that we serve. So we are going to become housing developers in our community because no one else is building the kind of housing our clients need. Actually today on Syracuse.com, there's an article about there isn't enough housing being built across the board for anybody, no matter what your bank account is. There isn't enough housing being built specifically for our clients that need really low, affordable housing units that are quality. It isn't being developed. And there's no reason for a developer to build it. The dollars don't make sense to do it. So if we can continue to fundraise and tap into the right, dollars available, then we can develop the kind of housing that our clients need. But I've got 160 people in the shelter last night. So to me, that says we need at least 200, 300 units of housing that is going to be quality, affordable, safe. And with that housing, we can get people back to their independence.
Yeah, because even with housing, it's a starting point of teaching people how to get back on their own and how to live life and how to even have the basic skills. So definitely, I just look forward to seeing that as well. And again, people can get on. What is the website again for people to get on?
Yep, rescuemissionalliance.org. You can go and find out anything about the mission, our information, our board of directors, how to give. We also have a really fun dinner coming up. In November 16th on a Thursday night. If you want to get dressed up and buy a ticket and come out, and you'll hear client success stories. It's a different kind of, it's called our Hope Awards, and we give awards to clients who have kind of turned their life around. So we want to celebrate them. So you can come out and bring the family and have a nice meal and really be inspired.
It's at the Downtown Hotel Syracuse Marriott.
Yeah,
correct?
That's right. Yeah, I call it Hotel Syracuse, but yeah, that's the Marriott. Yeah.
To me, it's always going to be Hotel Syracuse. I love it. It's Marriott, and it's great, but it's a thing to get dressed up and just celebrate with people who are continuing to overcome in their life. Again, just now, I want to thank you. I want people to be able to get on the website. I want people to hear about the testimonies and the stories that even I got to see on the website that you're doing. I would love for people to be, again, when they think, being a good steward of our climate and our environment, buy something that's already. The amount I have one of my teammates at the office, they said, Stephen, everything I wear, you always compliment like how nice are our tires. Everything comes from the Rescue Mission.
Awesome.
And so
I love
she's
hearing
like,
that.
I find all these treasures, and it's absolutely amazing. So again, I just think it's such a great way to support an amazing just an amazing nonprofit that's doing great with the funds that they have. But on top of that, it also benefits us too.
Yeah,
So I just hope anyone listening and watching today get involved. Donate some time. Stop down there. See you and the team down there, so they can really have a greater appreciation. There's rescue missions everywhere, but again, just want to make sure the Syracuse Rescue Mission is the Syracuse Rescue Mission. This is its own body.
it.
It's its own organization.
Yeah, I'll only claim Binghamton and Auburn, but that's it. We are the Syracuse Rescue Mission. Like I said, formed in 1887, local, and you give local, you support locals when you help the rescue mission.
Now, again, thank you so much for coming on the Stephen Skinner podcast, and I wish you guys the very best.
Thanks for having me.